Welcome back, everybody, today. And what a great moment this is for Bitcoin. We're absolutely flying now. If you did actually take my trade from yesterday, we'll see how that went. I told you here when the candle would flip that, where was that pump? Exactly here at this point, that we would get a good long stops below this current area right here. And yeah, you see, you did get a pretty good long from that point. Yeah, it was a bit slow, but as you can see, the candle never came down and touched a stop. I mean, here, oh, it cut it close, but you would have just been secured. I mean, not really ideal, but price action still worked, and price still ended up going up and onwards. Now, we did reach into my liquidation box, and CME did close the weekly, and guess what? It's pretty obvious where the CME actually closed. The CME closed above the topside Bollinger Band, which is pretty evident here on the weekly. Where's the weekly? There you are. And what does that tell me? Well, closing above the topside Bollinger Band does tell me that coming into next week, we should be looking for even more all-time highs, which is quite crazy to think of. And going back in Bitcoin, we will close the weekly in a day, but the 2 days should be coming up pretty soon, and the 2 days coming in also in a day, so I'm wrong on that. It is the 3 day that is closing, and if the 3 day does close above the topside Bollinger Band, then that's looking great, isn't it, guys? And you can see that we do have a lot of space. I mean, it has to remain above 54,000, which after this pump it looks like, and 54,000 is a nice base. I was actually hoping that this weekend we would come down to 54,000 and I could get in another long coming into next week because 54,000 is the topside Bollinger Band. On top of that, if you go in the lower time frames, there is a nice support flip resistance which I can show you. I think it was on the 30-minute here. Uh, and you can see that 54,000 is this where my alarm is, and I thought we would come down, take one more swipe all of the longs out here and then continue up and onwards, but that's obviously not the case. Now we did end up in my liquidation zone. We played at, and as you can see, as soon as we did enter it on the 1 hour even, we did have some trouble, and then we started playing about, and then we made two doji candles, which is really weird, and then suddenly exploded. This explosion normally on the weekends is from whales, to be honest, and whales like to buy on the weekend so that they can't be shorted by institutions. But you can see after reaching outside the box, we did retest it nicely, and yeah, what am I looking for? Well, we have had a pump. It has hit my first target at around 58,000. Taking a Fibonacci, I think we have hit the first target. We'll just see how it looks. Uh, let's see from here to the wick. Yeah, so 58,000 is the target, taking from the wicks. But if we use bodies, which is always stronger, we tapped it perfectly. And as you can see, we did tap that area perfectly. So it's respecting the body. So that's giving us some inside information that, yeah, all right, we are respecting the body. Why is that not like that? That's weird. We are respecting the bodies, and we can look for coming into next week for about 59,000 to $60,000, which is pretty crazy. And uh, yeah, that's our next stopping point. But what do I think happening over the weekend? Well, I do think maybe we do have a pullback, but where's the pullback? That's the thing. Looking at momentum, I mean, everything looks great. 1 hour up, 2 hour crossing up, 3 hour will cross up, 4 hour will cross up any closure where we are at the moment. Daily has just started to cross up. The 2 day will cross up. Look at the weekly. Is the weekly just crossed up and bounced off the bullish control zone? I mean, it's very, very bullish. Is there any trend line on the weekly? Uh, I mean, yeah, there is some sort of regression here, something like that. Not really, to be honest. Daily, crossing up as you can see. So yeah, it's looking really, really good. Momentum is all turned up to the upside, and yeah, based on price action, I would look for these targets. But do we have a pullback first? That's the question. Now, it's very hard to say over a weekend. I mean, it would be healthy. I was hoping we would play out the range and then come into Sunday. We would have, because normally in the weekend we do see some against the trend moves and just some ranging. I mean, if we go back onto the daily and we go to last weekend, which was, what was last weekend? This was last weekend around this area, and you can see that for the 2 days of the weekend. we were just playing basically in a range here, and then coming into the week, boom, we started, going up, and then yeah, now we're here today. So yeah, this daily candle does look very, very good, but I would really want to come back and see it tomorrow, to be honest. I mean, we are tapping this resistance here, and you can see that we are having a short-term sell-off, to be honest, coming down and touching this area. But do we continue up and onwards? It's hard to say where the volume will be coming from, but where do I remain bearish? Well, if we do break this area here at 55,287 now, then I do think we will come down probably and test 52,000. Don't think that's out of the cards, but based on the closure, and I would really like to see the 3-day closure today. And if we do close above the 3-day, above the topside Bollinger Band, any swipes to the downside, I will look at as that as opportunities. Ethereum is looking bullish. I had a look at this earlier on. I mean, look at that. It tapped our target perfectly, guys. I mean, look at this. We came up, tapped the target perfectly, came down to our lower target and tapped that perfectly as well, making that support, and now went up and looking for the 2053 to get hit. And after 2053, we can take another Fibonacci. Should I use the 1 hour? What is more of a confirmed top? Can take it from here. I mean, this is a nice, probably. Yeah, probably around, I guess this counts, right? So next target 2100 and then 2200 are the targets. So I really do think 2100 will be just a psychological profit taking, but I do think we hit 2200 possibly. So with that being said, remember guys, take care, trade sharp, and until next time, or tomorrow to be honest. Peace.